Losing your job to an algorithm feels different. It's not just a layoff, it's a verdict delivered by a machine, declaring your skills obsolete. This pain is unique, cutting to the core of your identity and value. But within this crisis lies a forced, painful, yet potent opportunity for reinvention. Stoicism, a philosophy forged in the fires of crisis, offers not platitudes, but a mental toolkit. It's about turning obstacles into fuel and finding power in a situation where you feel powerless. Let's explore the 7 phrases that intelligent people banish from their vocabulary to navigate this new reality. 1. Instead of "I already know that," they avoid saying, "I know my industry, I know my worth." In the old world, this phrase was a sign of confidence. In a world being reshaped by AI, it's a career death sentence. When working with military veterans, I saw experts in tactics, weaponry, and survival in harsh environments. But upon returning home, they couldn't just say, "I know that," to a completely different job market. The most intelligent soldiers were those who quickly realized, the battlefield has changed. I must learn again from scratch. Being replaced by AI is the same. Your old knowledge may no longer be relevant. Clinging to it isn't loyalty, it's arrogance. That pride, as Marcus Aurelius warned, is the wall that blocks all growth. The intelligent person, facing obsolescence, doesn't insist, "This is my value." They bravely ask, "What does the world need now, and what must I learn to provide it?" They transform into a new recruit, a student, ready to learn new skills even if it makes them feel foolish. 2. Instead of "That's impossible," they avoid saying, "I can't compete with a machine." This phrase is the voice of despair, and I've heard it many times. A prisoner re-entering society once told me, "It's impossible for me to have a normal life again." His fear of the future built a wall more solid than any prison wall. When you say, "I can't compete with AI," you're doing the same thing. You're focusing on what you can't control, the advancement of technology, while ignoring the one thing you can, your response. The philosopher Seneca said we suffer more in imagination than in reality. You imagine an unwinnable fight against a perfect machine. But this isn't a fight. It's a role change. Intelligent people don't ask, "How do I beat AI?" They ask, "How do I collaborate with AI? How do I do the things AI can't do?" AI can process data, but it lacks emotional intelligence, empathy, breakthrough creativity, and courage. Instead of saying impossible, ask, "What is the next small step I can take?" Maybe it's watching one tutorial on an AI tool. Maybe it's calling one friend in the tech industry. Like a soldier in battle, you don't need to see the entire path to victory. You just need to focus on the next step. 3. Instead of "That's not my fault," they avoid saying, "It's the company's technology's fault." Blame is a natural reaction. And you may be right. The company was cold. The technology was ruthless. But every moment you spend on blame, you are handing your power over to others. You make yourself a victim, waiting for an apology or a change that will never come. Intelligent people understand that responsibility isn't about accepting blame. It's about reclaiming control. Epictetus, a slave who became a great philosopher, taught, "It is not things that upset us, but our judgment about things." You are not at fault for being laid off, but you are entirely responsible for the next chapter of your life. Instead of saying, "It's their fault," say, "This is my situation. Now, what will I do?" This small mental shift moves you from passive to active, from powerless to powerful. It allows you to stop looking backward and start building the path forward. 4. Instead of "I don't need any help," they avoid saying, "I can get through this on my own." This is the most dangerous lie, especially for men accustomed to the role of provider. Job loss comes with shame, and that shame makes us isolate ourselves. You think struggling in silence is strength, but in reality, it's a form of self-destruction. In war, no soldier fights alone. They have a squad, a platoon. In the age of AI, you also need your own reinvention squad. It could be others who also lost their jobs, a mentor, or even someone younger than you who understands the new technology. President Lincoln led the country through the Civil War, not alone, but by assembling a team of rivals, those who challenged and complimented him. Asking for help isn't a sign of failure. In this new world, it is a survival strategy. It requires humility and courage, the qualities of a truly strong person. When you refuse help, you not only harm yourself, but also rob others of the chance to show kindness and connection. 5. Instead of, "I'm too old for that," they avoid saying, "I'm too old to learn this new stuff." This is the biggest psychological barrier for mid-career workers. You feel like the ship has sailed, that learning complex new skills is for the young. That is completely wrong. Your experience is not a liability. It's an invaluable asset. AI has no life experience. It has no wisdom forged from successes and failures. An old soldier may not be as fast as a new recruit, but he knows when to attack and when to take cover. That is wisdom. Your challenge isn't to discard your old experience, but to combine it with new tools. A 60-year-old carpenter who learns to use 3D design software isn't becoming a young person. He's becoming a master carpenter. Your wisdom combined with the power of AI creates a value that no one, neither the young nor machines, can easily replace. Don't ask, "Am I too old?" Ask, "How can my experience guide this technology?" 6. Instead of "I'll do it later," they avoid saying, "I'll update my resume, learn that new skill later." Procrastination is born from fear and overwhelm. Later becomes the graveyard for our best opportunities. I watched a friend keep delaying calls to his aging father until later never came. For you, the old career is dead. This is a harsh reality, but accepting it gives you the urgency you need. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself of his own death daily, memento mori, not to be morbid, but to live fully in each moment. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Every day you delay learning a new skill, the tech world takes another giant leap forward. Don't wait for inspiration or confidence. Act now. Watch one tutorial. Write one line on your new resume. Make one phone call. Action creates momentum, not the other way around. 7. Instead of, "That's just how I am," they avoid saying, "I'm not a tech person." This phrase locks every door to the future. It turns a habit or a lack of confidence into an unchangeable identity. In the past, you could afford to be not a tech person. In the present and future, that is no longer an option. Stoicism teaches that we are not prisoners of our past or our personality. We are the product of the choices we repeat. Change is hard. It requires facing discomfort. But it is also our greatest human ability, something AI will never have: the capacity for self-renewal. An intelligent person doesn't say, "That's just how I am." They ask, "Who do I want to become?" They see themselves as a work in progress, always capable of becoming better, stronger. The fact that you're not a tech person today doesn't mean you can't learn to be one tomorrow. Shedding the "not a tech person" label is the first step to reclaiming your power to define your own future. Conclusion. If you recognize yourself in any of these 7 phrases, don't worry, you are not alone. The good news is this: intelligent people aren't those who never make mistakes, but those who recognize them and choose to do better. The path ahead is not easy, but it is not a dead end. By eliminating these limiting phrases from your thoughts and words, you begin a reconstruction from within. You are reclaiming your power, your focus, and your dignity. This is your invitation to take the next step. Because wisdom isn't about being perfect. It's about staying curious, staying humble, and always moving forward. You are a warrior, and this is a battle you can absolutely win.